Hi there, I am Jeffri-Lynn Campbell back again with another Friday Night Videos brought to you by Blaze Experts. And tonight I am here talking with Dana Lam of Surprise Date Challenge. I've known Dana for a couple of years. We've worked together on a couple of projects, and I'm so excited to bring this information to you because her business is blowing up. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you
How
so
are
much
you?
for having me
Yay!
on.
So tell me, so many big things are happening, even with some setbacks, with
Right.
Surprise Date Challenge. So tell me all about like how you guys started this, where it came from, how it got to where
Sure.
it is. Talk to me.
Yeah, sure. Nobody is an overnight success, that's for sure. So, Surprise Date Challenge was originally the brainchild of Marty, who's both my life partner and my business partner. We are coming up on our 5-year anniversary together. And probably, the beginning of May of 2015, he said, I have this great idea. He said, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but I don't want to get bored. In the past, I've gotten bored in relationship. And so his idea was to plan one surprise date a month for each other. And I was completely up for that. So it's something that we practiced for several years. And then when I read Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic, people may know her from Eat, Pray, Love, but she wrote a book called Big Magic. And in that, she talked about how, the universe will give you an idea. And if you don't run with it, someone else will. And we've all had those moments, right? Oh my gosh, I could have been a millionaire if I would have done that idea. So that was the thought. Ran home. I was listening to it in my car on Audible and told Marty. And Marty's like, well, we can't make money at that. That was the first thing he said. And I said, well, first of all, can we help people? So that was 2017. We got 10 test couples to try it out. That's where the Surprise Date challenge came from. Is it's a 3-month challenge for couples in relationship to commit to doing this for 3 months. Just challenge yourself to get out of your rut, your comfort zone, try new things for 3 months. So 2 dates a month. Each person plans 1 date a month. The testimonials that we got were incredible. Some of them brought tears to our eyes. Thank you for lighting a fire under this man that I love. He never planned dates. He planned 3 amazing dates and wants to continue doing this. So it really was heartwarming. And being in a business, or a startup company, there are trials and tribulations. It doesn't always go smoothly. And there were times that I did think about quitting, like, why am I working this hard? And in the beginning, when the money isn't coming in and you're working late nights and you're working really hard, it can be frustrating. And it's interesting because the times I pondered giving up on my dream and helping people, something would happen. I would get a call from somebody telling me that, thanking me for changing their relationship and improving it with the date ideas and the information that we were just giving away for free, even on Facebook.
Mhm.
I knew we had to continue that.
I love that. So when we first started talking to each other and working together a couple of years ago, you had started the company, the startup, the side
Right?
hustle. Even it was a side hustle,
Yes.
and you were working from a different trade name. And
Yes.
we got together and we're like, yeah, no, this we may love it on our side, but we need something different to resonate on the other side. Tell me how changing that brand, changing the
Mhm.
name, changing how you put it out there, how did that
Right.
change or accelerate the trajectory of what you guys are doing?
Right. And it's hard. I mean, think about changing your name. Could you change your name? Or if your child changed their name, like you're like, I gave you that name and then they wanted to change it. I don't, it is really interesting. And our name was originally Fun Fantasy Ritual. It originally was Fun Friday Ritual because we planned Friday night dates. And I said, I can't, I wanted to do something on a Tuesday. And I said, my brain can't compute that. We need to change it. So Marty wanted to keep it FFR. And for us, it made total sense because Fun Fantasy Ritual is all about creating rituals in your relationship and creating that fantasy dream relationship that you want. It wasn't anything dirty or naughty. And I thought, oh, well, maybe that'll intrigue people. They might initially think, what is that? And be curious. And then they would go to our website and stick around. And that's not what we were finding. We were finding like an 80% drop rate. People were going to our website thinking it was something naughty and dirty, and disappointed that it wasn't. Leaving our site. So we weren't attracting the right customer, and it was very hard for us. We kept thinking people would catch on, and they didn't. We probably should have changed our name sooner. But one of the reasons is we really want to extend this isn't just for couples, that you can do this with your friends. So we could keep our FFR for fun friend ritual and fun family ritual. So we thought, oh, this could be this huge brand like Chicken Soup for the Soul. So we were a little bit slow to turn it, and we finally just realized we needed to change it. And the name of our book was Surprise Date Challenge. And so it just seems like a natural transition to change the company's name to that.
And that has really caught on. Show us the book.
Yes. So here is our book. Actually, this one has our old logo on it still, FR. So Fun Fantasy Ritual. The new ones do have the new logo. And Jeffri, you were so instrumental in the colors of our business. So Jeff, and I'll kind of hold this up too. We do a workshop or play shop for couples. And Jeffri was so amazing. Her and her team created this. I think it was mostly you though, right?
Mostly.
So she created this amazing, this amazing book. And we did a branding session with you, which was so helpful because you really did bring up some great ideas, and some of the things that the Surprise Date Challenge was your idea. Do you remember that?
I think Marty said something about it, and I seized on it and said,
right,
that's going to resonate so much more with this 3-tier ideal client that we're talking about than fantasy does.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it was Marty that came up with it. I'm going to give him that.
I thought it was you. We were maybe it was just, we were all there brainstorming. And great. And then I had said, you asked me what colors I wanted for this. And I said, well, I really like, yellow makes me happy. And I kind of threw out some of the colors that I liked and let you run with it. And because of that, and then the brainstorming with the book, all of this fell into place. And we really, things started taking off last April. Well, they really started last April. So about a year ago is really when we figured out how to monetize it with our Date of the Month Club. So that is our premier thing that we offer, is we help, couples tend to stop wooing each other after that honeymoon phase. Mm-hmm. And I love Coach Andy Reid. That was one of the things that he said when Kansas City Chiefs won. And he said that he calls his wife his girlfriend. They've been married 38 years. He said, because you never want to stop wooing or impressing your girlfriend, right? But your wife, she'll always be around, right? So I love that he calls that. So that's really what we're all about, is how do you keep the butterflies alive? And the surprise element, we have a couple of things that are key ingredients. One is the surprise element, because Esther Perel, who wrote Mating in Captivity, she is a famous psychotherapist, says we need 2 things in relationship. We need stability, knowing your partner has your back, but we also need desire. And what causes desire is risk, right? In the beginning of a relationship, you could get your heart broken. There's a little bit of risk involved. Are you going to like the same things? But we lose that over time because of the stability. So the stability is boring, but we need it, and it kills desire. So how do you create desire? So surprise, this is one way to do it, is planning a surprise date for your partner gets your heart racing a little and causes those butterflies and that desire and attraction to your partner. The other thing is novelty. So doing the same old thing. There's been studies, and I won't bore you with the details of it, but we do have a blog about it on our website, of a study that was done with couples who have been together a significant period of time. And doing the same old thing does nothing for you. But doing novel new experiences together bonds and connects you. So that's, I think, our 2 secret ingredients about why our Date of the Month Club works. So we send an email out every month that includes a date idea you can do, at home, which is great with people who, if you're worried about the coronavirus and you don't want to go out. So I think we're recession proof because you can do our date idea at home. So it's perfect. And then we also give you a date idea out on the town that you can do somewhere local in your city with pre and post date activities. We give you conversation starters, 5 conversation starters. So you're not talking about boring things about like work and the kids, but you're actually, talking about something a little more intriguing and interesting. And we give you an awesome gift idea every month. And it's a subscription service that you can cancel anytime.
I love that. You know what I love most about the program, Dana, is that you walk the talk. So surprising Marty with a little trip to Napa or Sonoma Valley. I know it was wine country,
yes,
right?
For his birthday, yeah.
For his birthday. Yes. And then you guys did maybe an anniversary trip to India. But even the little small things local here in town where you guys are having a drink at one of the local resorts as your pre-date thing, I'm watching that unfold on Facebook, that you guys are actually setting an example for what's working for everybody else who is part of the date of the month.
Right. Well, thank you very much. And we even do it with our kids. So we surprised them and took them to an escape room. We've done paddle boarding, Wonder Spaces, which is an interactive art museum. And normally teenagers, if we said, hey, we're going to go do this, they would complain. And that is the other great reason to do a surprise. Even with your significant other or partner, they can't shoot your idea down because they don't know what you're doing. They just know what to wear and how to show up. And so there's no whining, there's no complaining. And then you get there and, oh, this is what we're doing. And you have no time to think about it or react because you're doing it, right? So we think that is, when we started this 2 years ago, there was one other company doing something similar. There are now over 12 that I know of across the country, but none of them are doing it like we do. And none of them are doing it as a surprise element. And we're also working with businesses can offer this as an employee benefit or an employee perk. They can also, HR and benefit companies. We just signed a contract with a benefit company on the East Coast in Providence, Rhode Island, and they have over 250,000 employees. And we're going to be offering this to their premium clients for the Boston and Providence, Rhode Island area as an employee benefit. So, and it really does help a company to retain an employee, make sure they're more engaged, because if your employees are happier at home, they're going to be more productive at work. They'll be less distracted. They'll make less mistakes. They're not going to be surfing the web while they're at work or on their phone for something to do on the weekend because they already have their date of the month.
I love that. And you're right. If they're happier at home, they're more productive in the workplace. So more and more companies, as they are working on culture and their own team journey, then they will be providing things to enhance their life outside of work, so that their life inside of work is even that much more rewarding and feels good to them too. I love that idea. That's really good.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys have been working on this a little over 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, about 2.5 now.
Okay. And I'm sure it has come up along the way. There have been some fuck ups you've made along the way. And hopefully you're not like me, you've learned from them instead of having to do it 2 or 3 times.
Right.
What is, maybe name one big one that people can, as small business owners, as startups, as side hustlers, trying to turn it into a full-time gig, so they could avoid that pitfall. What would it be?
Right. I have to tell you really quick, since you dropped the F-bomb, I have a coaster that says, Friday, my second favorite F word.
Well, you're not surprised that I dropped the F-bomb, right?
No, not at all.
You're just surprised it took me this long.
One of my besties, Carrie, would totally get along. So, so I would say one of the biggest mistakes that we made in the very beginning is hiring the wrong people. So when you're just starting out and, it's hard when you're a solopreneur or we're not even solo. We have the 2 of us at least, and now actually have a salesperson and two virtual assistants. So we have moved up in the world, but it's still, I'd love an operations manager, and there are things that we are planning on expanding this year. But in the beginning, we wasted time and money hiring the wrong people. And part of it was we were on a budget, so that does restrict you with who you can hire. And I don't know fully how I would improve that. Because I felt like we did a lot of due diligence and checking. I might do more if you can get a personal referral from someone. And maybe it partly is just listening to your gut intuition and your instinct. I think some of the mistakes that we made, Marty and I weren't on the same page. He wanted one person, I wanted another. And I wasn't even sure about my choice, if they were the best one, but if they were within our budget, those kinds of things. So maybe being a little more patient to find the right person to work with and help you out. So, and obviously you were not one of those people. We had good things happen to you, and we found, I'm not even sure how we met. Somebody recommended you on Facebook, I think, to me, is how I found you. Actually, they recommended you and a lot of other people. And I interviewed probably 5 people before we hired you and moved forward with you. And I really, I think the biggest thing is does the person you're working with give a shit about your business? Do they care about it? Does it inspire them or intrigue them? And I think I felt that way with you. You seemed genuinely interested in our project and what we were doing. And I think that may be something that's really important.
That makes sense, because you also had great success with your public relations person too. That you felt,
and that was based on, yes. So Jennifer Kaplan of Evolve PR, highly recommend her. And when I interviewed probably 10 PR people. Some of them didn't really call me back right away. And unresponsiveness, I expect people to have work-life balance, but especially if you're trying to get a new contact. There was a girl who oh yeah, I'll call you next week. It was during a weekday, and Jennifer, I didn't even expect her to pick up the phone call. She answered it on a Saturday. She goes, oh, it's okay, I'm driving. And so she was in the car. So she picked it up, we chatted, and that she seemed genuinely interested and had someone in her office who had just gotten married. She goes, oh, I have the perfect person to help you on your account because she just got married. So she's in love. And I think she'll think what you're doing is great. And she, she knew people from experience who had lost the luster in their relationship and ended up getting divorced. And so she got how important what we're doing is. We're really trying to change the world and save marriages. And so I think having somebody on the same page with you is really important.
I agree with you on both counts. I think even the people that we work with at Blaze are only people who have a super high gas quotient, because we give it such a shit. We want everybody else to.
Yeah.
And you're right. That is one piece. And then that second piece is show up how you show up. Really do trust your instinct,
right,
and your gut, because it will never steer you wrong. It just won't. Now,
someone sent us a quote, and sometimes I am really quick to do things and have a typo or something misspelling. It wouldn't be that in a quote or something business, because I would have Marty double check my work and edit it. But a PR person who's sending press releases sent us a quote with typos in it. And Marty's like, oh, absolutely not. We're not hiring them. I didn't even talk to her any further. And it wasn't one, it was several.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. That's that other piece too. You don't have to believe everything you think. There are cut and dried things, like you say. If somebody's doing a press release, they need to be detailed enough to not have misspellings in the press release.
Right. That's why I'm hiring them, because I wouldn't be good at that.
Yeah. So you want to think that through.
Yes.
I think the challenge comes when you're saying, okay, is this my gut, or is this me believing what I think that may not be true? And it's sometimes hard to separate that. But if you can drill it down to that gas quotient, then you get to the core of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have very high expectations, not only of myself, but other people too. And so I've been disappointed. But I also have realized now that we've been doing this for 2.5 years that there are people who have the same work ethic as me, who have the same passion and desire for what they do. And those are the people that you want to, find. I want to work with people like me that are go-getters. Although I was just reading this great book called The Originals. And one of the things he said, there was a company that he did a case study on, and they actually, that can be detrimental to bring everybody in that's like you, because then everybody thinks the same and then you have no original new thoughts. And so I had to really think about that because we do kind of attract, right? Usually like attracts like. So getting people who have a little bit of that diversity, that maybe think a little bit different, that will, question you too, so that you don't end up like a Blockbuster, missing the ball and going out of business, that kind of thing. So I think we've done some things that are right. One of the things is that, and Marty will always gives me kudos and credit for running with the ball. I've learned, hey, sometimes you just have to throw the spaghetti against the wall and see which sticks. And so I'm willing to run out and try things. And when you do stuff like that, you are going to waste some time and money, but you're also making forward momentum. So in that instance, I think had we waited to do some things, we wouldn't be as far along as where we are now. So that's a balance.
Well, and that's failing forward. And we all do that.
Yes.
Or we hope
Yes.
to. It's better than
Yes.
just failing and accepting it. What you were saying, though, about those pieces that you were talking about, and now here I've lost my train of thought, but you were just saying that you wanted those people who are coming in with different ideas, that diversity, that different way of thinking or different approach to problems and that kind of thing. I think what it comes down to, though, and we worked on this when we were doing the brand strategy session together, is that as long as your values are aligned, and like you said, your expectations are super high, so your value, work ethic, and putting all your effort into it and that forward momentum, that's really not negotiable. But these other things that may not
Right.
be your strengths or even your strength-based values, right? They might be different, that somebody else brings that to the table, as long as those initial pillars of values
Right.
are aligned.
Right. Because we probably have a list of 150 qualities we'd like to have people that we're working with have, which is way too many. That's going to be impossible. So narrowing it down, we did come up. So we were accepted into Seed Spot, which is a local accelerator. It's one of the top 5 accelerators in the nation. And they work with helping companies to really scale their business quickly in a short period of time that have social impact. And of course, our social impact is keeping families together and marriages together and relationships from becoming stagnant and stale. So that's our social impact. And one of the things they had us do, we just started this week, so we get this great mentorship and support for the next couple of months. And one of the great things about it is they had us do like our core values, and it was fun to look at. And I really wanted to make sure I did put in there work-life balance and living life to the fullest, because I think and actually living instead of just existing is really important to us. And I think that ties in with what we're trying to encourage families, couples, friends to do together. And one of the things that as we grow, I want to have unlimited vacation and PTO. If you need to take time off, I don't want to micromanage you. Go to the doctor's appointment. I don't need proof. Just go to your doctor's appointment. If you want to go have lunch with a girlfriend, I just had a friend in January commit suicide, and she was being abused.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah. And I want to make sure that I'm spending time with the important people that I love. And I don't want people working 60 hours a week. I want them to have a balance and go spend time, go have lunch during the week with their friends that are important to them and really have that. But I also want somebody who I know that no one else is going to love our business and our project as much as we are, but I have found some people who are excited. You know, we have somebody on our sales team right now she's amazing, and she understands and gets what we're doing and can relate it to her relationship. And I want more people like that who, that's who I want, you know, as we're developing the culture of our company. That's something that's really important. So good point to have those few key pillars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Aligned values, because it goes beyond that to the people who are taking advantage of Surprise Date Challenge or the monthly, subscription and the date of the month, that kind of thing. Because if they don't value relationships, if they don't give a shit about it, they're not your customer, and they definitely wouldn't be somebody you'd want to work with you inside your organization.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. If anybody was trying to find your book, I know they can get it on Amazon.
Yes.
How else do they get involved with Surprise Date Challenge on any level? Dana, put that out there for everybody.
Well, you can go to surprisedatechallenge.com, and there's we have a couple of tabs that are really great. One is our date ideas page that we are in 7 states. So if you're going to New York or Colorado, or a couple of the states, Nevada, and you're looking for something interesting to do that would be a great date, friend or family date, and you want to save some money, we also have discounts. You can go and do it yourself. So we have that option on our website. And then we have the Date of the Month Club, and you can do a subscription for $20 a month, or $100 for 6 months, or $180 for a year.
Okay.
And you can cancel it anytime. And I would love to offer anyone on this call, if you're interested, I will give you a special rate, good for the next 2 weeks, for $99 for an entire year of the Date of the Month Club. And just use code THANKS, THANKS, and you can get an entire year of dates for $99. I think it's $8 a month. And the savings that we usually give you, 10, 20, 30% on the activities will really make up for the cost. So it's pretty much free.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll make sure I put that on the bottom of the screen too, so they can do that and then click right through and start spicing up their relationship.
Exactly.
Yay. Okay, thank you so much for visiting with me. I'm excited to have the whole world love their relationships again.
I know, me too. And really make sure they're doing fun things monthly.
I love that. For Friday Night Videos, fuck ups that we learn from, that was Dana Lam with Surprise Date Challenge. Visit her online. Thanks, guys.